Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with all your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. And I'm starting off this week with some news which is very close to my heart. You know that some months ago Gabriel McCarry reached out to me and very kindly asked if I would write the preface to the paperback edition of Aurorae, having enjoyed the standard hardcover so deeply, and of course I agreed, and I announced a couple of months ago that was happening, and the book is not quite available to purchase quite yet, but is going to be available probably by the time you watch this. If you're a member, then yeah, you may have to wait a day or two, but yes, it's coming this week. You should be able to buy the paperback edition of Aurorae in all its splendor and gory glory. As here are just a few exclusive pictures that Gabriel McCarry has very kindly sent for the purpose of this this news segment. And you can see the beautiful illustrations by José Gabriel Alegría Sabogal, which were originally the end papers on the standard hardcover and the deluxe hardcover, the artisanal hardcover as well. And yep, there's a little preview of my preface, and yeah, here it is. Just being waved around so that you can see how beautiful that lettering is, and it's all just really nice. There we are. So that's very exciting news. I'll leave links to the Aurorae page as soon as this goes on sale. You can obviously get it directly through Anathema Publishing or through Cyclic Law. Right, moving on to news from Troy Publishing. You know that with the majority of the books that they publish, they have many different editions. They have like a paperback edition and a standard hardcover edition and a deluxe edition. They also have a black cover edition, and that black cover edition is now available for A Ring Around the Moon by Nigel G. Pearson. Now, Nigel G. Pearson is an author that I'm just now starting to discover, and this A Ring Around the Moon is it looks like a very interesting book for anyone who might be into Wicca at the moment and might be interested in having a look at traditional witchcraft. Or someone who's completely outside of the whole system and who's kind of curious about the differences between Wicca and traditional witchcraft. It seems that Nigel G. Pearson probably started off through Wicca and then made his way into traditional witchcraft. And this book is a description of some of the bridging rites. I suppose that might be a good way to put it. I might be completely mistaken. That might be the worst way to put it, possibly. But it does seem very interesting, and at the Troy book prices, this really isn't one to miss. £32 is incredible. Yeah, plus shipping, of course. But yes, that's great news. Moving on to Theon Publishing. Now, the pre-orders aren't ready quite yet, but this is an announcement that the pre-orders are going to be opened on the 31st of January for the second revised edition of the Benighted Path by Richard Gavin. This is a book that was very popular and went out of print very fast, and I'm sure that many people will be very excited to see that it's getting a second revised edition. And so, of course, if you want to be on that list of people who receive the information that it's available and where to then go and pick it up, and if you want to be amongst the first people to get to get a copy, then it's a good idea to sign up to Theon Publishing's mailing mailing list, their newsletter, right? And they'll let you know through your emails that this particular book is available to pre-order. So that's on the 31st. So yeah, get your sign-ups done before then, of course. News from Scarlet Imprint. News from Scarlet Imprint is always very exciting, of course. Ani.Mystic is the next book by, or that will be published by Scarlet Imprint, and pre-orders have started already. The fine edition is already out of stock, as in it's all sold out. But the standard hardback is still available to purchase. I'm sure that many people will be very excited about this one. So it's clearly about animism. It's explicitly a magician's book, a dreaming book, one which aims to fundamentally shift the discourse within the Western magical tradition. He explains the sole preoccupation of this book is exploring and uncovering animism as a dangerous category of European thought. Now that sounds very interesting to me. I am looking forward to finding out a little bit more about that. So it seems to be a continuation from his previous book, Starships. There we are. Moving on to Inner Traditions' new book, or rather Tobias Churton's new book, Aleister Crowley in England, The Return of the Great Beast. So Tobias Churton has been chronicling Aleister Crowley's life, the various parts of his life in the various places where he's lived, in America, in India, and I guess his early life in London, and then this is the final part of his life where he was forced to return to England to spend his last few days nearly penniless, he writes. So that I'm sure it'll be very interesting to read. I'm sure they always invariably are. And this is a hardcover book, and it'd be quite interesting to have the whole collection on that. If you're interested in Aleister Crowley in any shape or form, then this will no doubt be an interesting purchase. Right. Moving on to Adventures of a Magus. So this is a gentleman who reached out to me on Facebook, and go ahead, and told me that he has, maybe many of you watching know about his work. I didn't. This is basically two journals. So there's the Thelemite edition, and then there's the Golden Dawn edition also. And it's basically a journal that is created for the magic practitioner to, first of all, write down his or her practices and record their daily practice, as a magic practitioner should. And then in the back, you've got all these cheat sheets, right? So depending on the tradition that you're following, either Golden Dawn or Thelema, you will have your LBRPs and your hexagram rites and so on. But it seems that his website has got more than just those two books. He seems to have some jewelry. He's got clearly some Enochian watchtowers and so on and so forth. Looks like a website worth checking out, maybe if you're interested in those particular traditions. There we are. Moving on to Century Guild, who have got two great bits of news this week. First of all, the paperback edition of Le Pater. You may remember that I made a review of the hardcover, which is enormous. So you can see that the paperback is a little bit smaller, possibly a little more wieldy, and that is it's just on the brink of being published. So keep an eye out on Century Guild to find out when the pre-orders are going to actually start happening. But it seems like they've received their first copy, and they will let us know very soon when the pre-orders will actually start. I'll obviously let you know when that actually happens. And then the second bit of information is that they are kickstarting a poster, this beautiful deluxe edition of L'Éducation. This is the poster right there. It looks really beautiful. It looks really interesting. You probably know that Century Guild focus on the Art Nouveau aspect of the magical revival, as it were, right at the turn of the century, and they have been bringing out many very high quality posters. And actually, posters is probably the wrong word for it. They're prints. That's what they are. And this is their latest one, which can be purchased in a variety of combinations with perfume and with other prints and with other books, and in combination with all of the books that they do, all their deluxe copied books, and so on and so forth. So yeah, definitely worth checking out that Kickstarter all the way to the end there. Moving on to news from the Édition Diane de Cilliers. Now, if any of you are French speakers or just book collectors, and you've been eyeing the Ramayana by Diane de Cilliers. Diane de Cilliers is just a fantastic publication house, publishing company. You may remember that I made two reviews, one of The Canticle of the Birds and another on it was I can't remember the title of it right now. Anyway, one of the round table romances, and they make these absolutely gorgeous books, and this is kind of their masterpiece, right? It's always been out of financial reach for most people, at €950, and they have just reduced it to about 30% of its original price. So that's a huge discount, 70% discount down to €285. And as you can see, I mean, it's an enormous piece of work, and with let me just remember exactly how many illustrations. There's 660 original miniatures in here, all reproduced, and this is what they do best, right? They make really nice translations or translations into French, although the Canticle of the Birds is both in French, and there is an English edition which I've shown on my channel. But this one's in French, and then accompanying the text are these works of art, and it's really the works of art that most people buy these books for, because they're so beautifully and expertly reproduced. So yeah, if you're interested in those miniature reproductions, here are a few examples of the art that you can expect inside. There we are, 660 of these. Absolutely wonderful. It's just the wrong time of the year for me. It's just been Christmas, and I am just dry. I'm out in terms of books that are going to cost me more than $10. So at the moment it's a no, but maybe for some of you it could be a yes. hopefully that looks interesting to some of you. I don't know how long this special offer is going to last, but it's for the 30 years of this company, right, of Dien de Cilliers. There we are, moving on to, so Suncat from one of our members, one of our long-standing members, hi Suncat, posted this morning on Discord an image of a Phurba that he had been in contact with, the jealousy thing kind of set in. And I started looking up Phurbas, and you can get some Phurbas for a very reasonable price, actually. And this is actually one that was not for particularly, well, maybe it is a reasonable price for what it is, but it was just particularly beautiful, I just found it on Etsy, and I thought that I'd share that with you, just as a very, very beautiful object. If any of you are into your Bon practices or Vajrayana in general, then this might be of interest to you. £424 really is on the extreme end of the price scale for Phurbas on Etsy. I thought I'd share that with you, what I've been looking at this morning. Two interesting classes, or sets of classes, should I say. The first is being offered by Treadwell Books. So this is Working with Spirits, a Magical Conversation with Jake Stratton Kent, and Chaos Magician Julian Vane, whom I don't know, but something tells me I might find out about him. This is happening on the 24th of February on Zoom. And my guess is that it's going to be extremely exciting. The tickets are criminally cheap. I don't know if it's a set number of people who are going to be allowed to attend. I don't know how this works, but the tickets are currently available, and I can imagine that the majority of people who know about it are likely to be joining this. Jake Stratton Kent's work is invariably of very high quality, and I'm sure that he'll have plenty of very interesting things to talk about. And then the other class that I've been interested in this week has been the one offered by Al Cummins, and it's let me just find it. I beg your pardon. Here it is. It's Necromancy for Beginners. So you can buy the 5-part class, or you can buy individual parts of the class, and that is starting on March 28th. So plenty of time, but once again, you might want to mark your calendars for that particular one. I was also surprised at how I'm not going to say affordable, because of course it depends on everyone's purse, but what good value they're offering here. I think this is basically £120, if I remember correctly, for all 5 parts, right? So you're getting the whole thing. It might not even be pounds, it might be dollars. Let me just go into more information here and we can find out. And again, you can just, there we go. The class series is $125, so not even £125. $125, and then the individual classes are $30. And that is, again, extraordinary for being taught by none other than Al Cummins. That is something quite special and quite exciting. There we are. My board game of the week is Necromancers, which unfortunately only has 1 day left to go. Let me see where it's written there. Is it? Oh, yeah, we go. 1 day and 5 hours. So basically, by the time most of you are watching this, it's likely to be quite close to the ending time there for this particular. It's not a Kickstarter. It's a GameFound, a crowdfunding event, and it's Mythic Games. Now, I'm a little bit wary of Mythic Games, having purchased their Joan of Arc, which was fantastic, by the way, only it was 2 years late. So you know, that is something that you might need to keep in consideration. They do, you know, in the end, they do deliver, but it might be quite a while before they do. But I can say that their materials are of very high quality. I was very impressed with what I finally received in the Joan of Arc board game there. But yeah, this looks kind of fun, doesn't it? You're representing various necromancers and yeah, fighting. There we are. Lots of very cool minis going on. Lots of really nice bits of plastic. You know, as we love them, and it looks the part. It looks professional. It looks good. It looks like a fun game. I had a quick look at the gameplay. It looks quite straightforward, to be honest. Yeah, if you're interested, then you're welcome, as long as you're not watching this video too late. So there we are. Thanks ever so much for watching, everyone. I hope you found something to whet your appetite there. And yeah, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And subscribe down below if you haven't done so already. Consider having a look at the memberships if that's something that you'd like to do to support this whole channel, this whole Foolish Fish thing, to just ensure that it keeps going on into the future. I would certainly appreciate any contributions. Thank you very much to everyone who already does contribute. I was able to, as I was saying in a previous video there, I was able to leave my day job thanks to you, and that really is something that is. To say that it's important to me is really an understatement, because I'm able to now take over from my wife, who's just been the one who's been looking after our disabled child for a long time now, and now I've been able to quit one of my 2 full-time jobs, and I'm able to take over a little bit more on that side, and that's really something that I can't begin to thank you enough for. I can't begin to tell you how important that is to me, and how fantastic it is that I can now spend so much more time looking after and educating and you know, taking over some of my wife's hard work. So yeah, again, thank you so much. That's all I have for you this week. Thank you again for watching. Again, that thumbs up really helps. Subscribe, and see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.